This is a note-taking app called Mem. Before I go any further, I want to make a couple of things clear so I don't mislead you. First, I'm using Mem on a laptop, and what I show you may not be available on an iOS device on a phone or a tablet of some kind. And the second thing is that this is a paid for app. So there is a free version of Mem and there is a subscription version. This is the subscription version. So I use two note taking applications. I started with Obsidian, I still use Obsidian. I became interested in Mem because of its AI features. I was just interested in what this added capability would involve, and would it be worth the subscription fee that I was paying. So I'll show you two AI enabled features. So I have a Mem account with maybe, I don't know, 120 to 150 notes in it across a number of different topics. And the difference, supposedly, or one of the big differences between Mem AI and Obsidian is the capability of Mem to find relationships among notes, both in your own notes and in notes shared with you by others on a team of some type. So Mem proposes that you don't have to do all the linking among notes that you would probably do in Obsidian, and can rely upon some of the connection finding capabilities of Mem. So I'll show you kind of how that works. So I'm going to use my notes on mastery learning today. And so if I click this, what you're going to see are the notes that I have tagged with the tag mastery. And the first capability I can show you by opening one of these notes, say I do one of the earliest notes I've taken from research done in 1963. And if you look carefully at the screen here, it will show some established connections, but then similar to this Mem is an AI feature. Now, instead of just relating other notes with a similar tag, it's going to try to find connections for you, and so that's what you're going to see here. So these notes are regarded as similar, but perhaps not tagged in a way that would make a connection obvious. When you explore this connection, you may not find it to be obvious either, but it does add something that is not necessarily built from what you have done, but an effort by the system itself to make connections for you. Now, the second AI capability, and I think is more impressive. So to do this, I'm going to create a new Mem, which is basically nothing, and I'm going to call it something, mastery summary. And I'm going to have Mem generate something based on a prompt I give its AI capabilities. So to trigger the AI capability, I do this slash, and then I add something, a prompt of some kind, and I'm just going to use mastery, and I'll show you what happens. Now what it's doing is it's going to generate a summary based on my collection of notes. So this would be somewhat different than, say, what GPT would give you if I just put in mastery or summarize mastery learning, which would use its own knowledge base. This is using the knowledge base that I have established through my notes. And so at this point, I can include this as another note. And maybe more interestingly, I could in fact share this if I want to change this. And I would enter other people then. And this is how you would share notes across team members. You can share other notes that you've entered by hand, I guess you would say, or you can copy, send this note that you have kind of used based in an AI guided by your prompt integration or construction based on the notes that you have taken. So this is Mem AI. It's a note-taking system. Again, I ask you to remember it requires that you are working on a paid account, which is what I'm doing, and that you're working on a laptop, or a desktop. So it's an interesting feature. I think we can expect more things in the future, but it's a very, very interesting capability.